Monday Night Football, the Niners beat the Panthers. They're now 8-4. Are the Niners good? Are they relevant? Are they threatening? Because I'm watching and I would say, are they good? They're good-ish. Are they relevant? They got Christian McCaffrey. Are they threatening? I would say no. Brock Purdy did not look good. He did not look Purdy in the first half. How about that, Todd?
Okay, I've heard it a couple of times before. But I'm gonna
you have?
You know what? It's Thanksgiving week. Bloop. I'll give you a bloop.
You have your Thanksgiving T-shirt on, don't you?
I do have my Thanksgiving T-shirt. I found it way in the back of the closet. I could use an ironing, but I'm like, you know what?
Speaking of repeat material.
Okay, you know.
Pie trainer.
Yeah.
It's the holidays. Let's not.
Larry Bird. Who else do you have? Jack Ham.
Jack Ham. We got Mark Eaton, Matt Holliday, Tim McCarver. Good times.
Thank you, Todd.
You're welcome. Pie trainer.
The Panthers now 6-6. The Niners, though, at 8-4, and they're in a tough division. Do I think they're as good as the Rams? No. Seattle? No. They're better than the Cardinals. But you're watching, and it's a wounded team. First of all, they made the mistake with Brandon Ayuk, who I was thinking $30 million, let him go. And they brought him back. You got rid of Debo. You got Bosa's injured. Fred Warner's injured. I don't know how they're doing it, but give credit. McCaffrey gives you a little bit of running, a little bit of pass receiving. George Kittle has played pretty well. They're just not threatening, but they will be relevant because of Christian McCaffrey. Are they good? They're good-ish and maybe good enough to get into the postseason, but still, you could end up with 10 wins and maybe not get in because Seattle's a really good team, and we know the Rams might be the best team in football. 3 first-half picks for Brock Purdy. Here's Kyle Shanahan on his quarterback.
Just had 3 throws you'd love to take back. They're all 3 good decisions, just a hair late on them, and when you're a hair late on stuff, you can't throw it behind them. And he threw it behind him, and all 3 guys made him pay. There's no narrative to a late throw. You're just a little late, and when you do, which people are late a lot, you just can't throw it behind them when you are. You got to put it in front of them, and he had a little behind him on all 3, and all 3 of those corners made him pay.
He had a slight hitch, and that's all it takes. That's the difference between college football and the NFL. You can hitch, you can pump, but not in the NFL. Not for a timing pattern, and you saw that with Brock Purdy. It was like and that was it. And that's all those cornerbacks need. Because I'll catch up a whole lot quicker. You know, Shedeur Sanders talked about the speed of the NFL, that he's got to get used to the speed. He was talking about Max Crosby. He said after the game, why were you trying to beat the blank out of me? He goes, that's my job. You know, you have these guys who are omnipresent, like they're there. And if they're not there, they're going to get there really, really quickly. And that's the difference in the NFL and college. But I still find these quarterbacks who don't take what's right in front of them, the easy 5 yards. And I forget who we had on, but he talked about Tom Brady. And he said 100 out of 100 times he's taking the 5-yard guy who's wide open as opposed to the 7 or the 10-yarder. 100 out of 100 he's taken what's right there. Hey, you're going to let me have that? I'm going to take it. The younger quarterback trying to make a bigger play. And Brock Purdy, a split second. And that's what's amazing. When you see this in real time, like TV puts it so it's really easy to see and understand and looks a whole lot easier than what it is. When you're watching on the sideline, it is so quick. It's far quicker than you can even imagine. But those who see it and get it done and anticipate and throw somebody open, those are the greats of all time. The other ones, that's why you become journeyman. That's why you become a backup. That's why you get, kicked out of the league. It's just amazing how they do it with that precision in the NFL. College football, man, that is fool's gold. I mean, Julian Sayin is completing 80% of his passes at Ohio State. Unheard of. But it is college football. And it feels like anybody who's, anybody who's of greatness or good, being on that level of being great, being good-ish, you've got to complete 60, 65% of your passes because it's all there. In the NFL, I think Steve Young completed 72% of his passes one year, which is unheard of. just because the ability to get something into a tight window. Yes, Marvin.
And it's a cheat code being a quarterback at Ohio State because I already have NFL wide receivers in college.
Yeah, you're right. I still go back to when Justin Fields against Ohio State, they were wide open. Like, it was hard to assess Justin Fields because I went, those receivers are wide open. And then we've seen what's happened to Justin Fields when he got to the NFL. You don't have those receivers, and you don't have that defense that you're going up against. All right.